At Walt Disney World, the layout, the lighting, the fireworks at night, even the way you move through the parks has all been carefully engineered. Not just to entertain you, but to keep you here, to keep you spending without ever feeling like you are. And the longer you stay inside that system, the more you spend. And that's exactly where the nighttime spectacular comes in. Shows like the fireworks over Cinderella Castle aren't just there to end the day on a high note, they're there to extend it. Because without a reason to stay, a large percentage of guests would leave the park earlier, maybe after dinner, maybe after they've hit their top priorities. But a scheduled nighttime show changes that behavior completely. The fireworks aren't just a show, they're a timing mechanism. Here's how Disney World secretly gets you to spend more money on your vacation. It starts before you even arrive. Long before you scan into a park, Disney is already shaping how much you are likely to spend. And one of the biggest decisions they'll influence is where you stay. Early park admission and advanced lightning lane bookings are framed as perks, but they also serve a much bigger purpose. The timing that creates a subtle but powerful psychological edge. You feel like you're ahead of the crowd, like you've made a smarter decision. Plus, you're less likely to leave for meals, less likely to explore off-site options, and more likely to spend your time and money exactly where Disney wants you. Plus, you have access to free, continuously running transportation that connects you to every park and resort. You get into the parks earlier each morning, and if you're staying at a deluxe resort, you can stay later on select nights when the crowds thin out. Suddenly, the higher price of staying on property becomes easier to justify. It doesn't feel like you're spending more, it feels like you're getting more. And if you decide not to stay on property, Disney still has a system waiting for you. Because if you drive to the parks, you're going to pay for parking. That part is expected. But then comes the upgrade. Preferred parking, which takes you closer to the entrance, typically costs $50 per day. At the start of the day, it may feel unnecessary. But after walking miles through the parks in the Florida heat, that shorter walk back to your car starts to feel like less of a luxury and more like a smarter decision. That's the pattern you begin to notice. Disney doesn't force you to spend more, they simply create situations where spending a little extra feels completely reasonable. Then you step into the park, and the environment itself starts doing the work. One of the first things you'll encounter isn't something you see, but something you smell. On Main Street USA at Magic Kingdom, that usually means popcorn. The scent carries far beyond the cart itself, reaching you before you even realize where it's coming from. If it's earlier in the day, that scent might shift to coffee as you pass a Starbucks location, or baked goods. Or sugar, especially near the Main Street confectionery, where everything is designed to look bright, colorful, and almost impossible to ignore. You might not stop right away, but that's not the goal. The goal is to plant the idea. Because later in the day, when you pass by again, that memory comes back, and suddenly it feels like the perfect time to go inside. And before you even reach your first ride, you've already passed through a carefully designed retail corridor. At Magic Kingdom, it's Main Street. At Epcot, it's the area surrounding the Creation Shop. At Disney's Animal Kingdom, it's Discovery Island. And at Disney's Hollywood Studios, it's Hollywood Boulevard. Each park looks different, but the strategy is the same. You're introduced to merchandise before you experience the attractions, not to make you buy something immediately, but to create familiarity. You'll notice what's available, you take mental notes, and those notes come back later. Even the smallest details support this. The windows along Main Street USA are positioned lower than usual, allowing children to see easily inside. And once a child sees something they want, that idea tends to stick around. As the day goes on, the environment continues to guide your behavior in ways that feel completely natural. At some point, especially in Orlando, the heat becomes unavoidable. And that's when one of Disney's simplest strategies becomes incredibly effective: air conditioning. Retail doors are often left wide open, allowing cool air to spill out onto the walkway. You can feel it from a distance, and stepping inside feels like relief. You're not making a decision to shop, you're reacting to the environment. But once you're inside, you slow down, and when you slow down, you start to look around. Then comes one of my favorite, and the most effective strategy Disney has ever implemented: exiting an attraction through a gift shop. Rides like Space Mountain and Pirates of the Caribbean don't just end, they transition directly into retail spaces. And the timing couldn't be better. Right after a ride, your emotions are elevated, you're excited, maybe even nostalgic. And in that moment, buying something doesn't feel like a transaction, it feels like a way to hold on to the experience. Inside the stores, everything continues to work together. Merchandise is placed with precision. Items for adults sit at eye level, while toys and interactive products are positioned lower, right where children can see and reach them. Unlike traditional big box retailers where toys sit dormant in cardboard boxes, Disney's products are live. They utilize the Try Me features that trigger lights and sounds, creating an immediate emotional feedback loop that bypasses the parent's rational price sensitivity. Many of these toys light up, make sounds, or respond when you press a button, which makes them feel more engaging and more valuable. Each wall of merchandise, every rack, all has a financial goal that is carefully monitored by a sales team. The team checks on the receipts after a set period of time and will adjust displays if they're falling short. It may be that some items are brought down lower, or maybe it's a complete changeout. The retail environments within Disney World are not merely souvenir shops. They are sophisticated, high-conversion engines designed with the same psychological rigor as a Las Vegas casino. Every square foot of floor space is engineered to maximize guest spend through a combination of sensory triggers and ergonomic manipulation. And Disney takes this even further by making these items part of the experience itself. Disney's street-level marketing happens in real time. A guest sees a bubble wand in use and can often find a mobile merchandising cart stocked with that exact item less than 50 feet away. By making these items interactive, such as magic bands that vibrate or glow during specific show moments, Disney has created a digital key that unlocks a premium layer of the theme park experience. The end result is a retail environment where the guests themselves become the most effective sales force Disney has at its disposal. Timing plays an even bigger role as the day transitions into night. Approximately 60 minutes before a parade or nighttime show, the park's kinetic energy shifts as thousands of guests begin to anchor themselves in place. As crowds gather and sit to secure their vantage points, a unique psychological state emerges. Parents are suddenly managing restless children in a stationary environment, and the desire for a distraction becomes a primary motivator. Right on cue, mobile merchandise carts are deployed directly into these high-density waiting zones. These carts are stocked with high-visibility, sensory-heavy items specifically designed for low-light environments, such as spinning bubble wands and glowing accessories that synchronize with the park's lighting systems. The timing is mathematically precise, capitalizing on the exact moment when the pain of waiting outweighs the pain of paying. One cast member noted that the retail volume can triple the moment the sun sets, often requiring multiple inventory restocks before the first firework even leaves the ground. Simultaneously, the sensory appeal of nearby snack carts and popcorn stands reaches its peak. Because when a guest is stationary and waiting for a scheduled event, the act of purchasing food transitions from a nutritional necessity to a recreational activity. Buying a snack becomes a natural, almost instinctive way to pass the time and justify the wait. By positioning these point-of-sale opportunities directly within the guest's line of sight during their longest period of inactivity, Disney effectively converts idle time into one of the most profitable hours of the day. As the park gets darker, something else happens. The lighting shifts, walkways become dimmer, setting the stage for the nighttime spectacular. But the storefronts become brighter, drawing your attention one last time as you make your way toward the exit. And along that path, merchandise carts are placed in strategic locations, often near major attractions. Inside flagship locations like the Emporium at Magic Kingdom Park, the architecture transitions from storytelling to a masterclass in guided exploration. The layout is intentionally non-linear. You won't find clear aisles or direct exits. Instead, you must meander through the interconnected themed chambers. This design language, often referred to in retail as a forced path or decompression strategy, ensures that there's no shortcut to the register. Instead, every turn presents a new curated environment, forcing the guest to continually re-engage with the merchandise. Large-scale visual anchors, such as an intricate towering model of Cinderella Castle or an elaborate animated window display, act as weenies, a term Walt Disney used to describe visual magnets that draw people through a space. As you navigate the store, these icons pull you deeper into the retail footprint, naturally guiding your direction of travel. My Disney experience has quietly become one of the most powerful tools Disney uses to increase spending. Mobile ordering, in particular, changes how people make decisions. When you're standing in a line at a counter, there's a natural pressure to keep things moving. People are behind you, waiting their turn, and that limits how much time you spend considering your options. But when you're ordering from your phone, that pressure disappears. You scroll more, you explore more, you start considering upgrades you might not have thought about otherwise. Research, including studies from the University of South Florida, has shown that people tend to spend 15 to 20% more when ordering through an app compared to ordering with a cashier. Disney reinforces this with subtle prompts. As you're placing your order, you're encouraged to add a dessert or try a limited-time souvenir mug. There's no salesperson, no pressure, just suggestions placed exactly where they're most effective. And because it's so easy to say yes, people often do. At the end of the day, we all know that Mickey wants our money. And frankly, after being so expertly charmed by the atmosphere, the attractions, and the wonderful cast members who make it all happen for us, we're all very happy to give it to him. Coming up is another video that I think you'll really enjoy, including some insider information that you won't want to miss. And I'll see you over there.